Here's number 2, as promised, on the project that we're working on with the X3 and the exhaust and shocker pipe. This is Chris with Rise Fab. You guys seen him in the last video. He talked for a little bit. I'm going to let him talk about what we're doing with the X3, getting him into the side-by-side game.
So what we got here is full 304 stainless system. Started out as a catalytic converter delete. It is true full 3-inch all the way back with our own machined exhaust outlet V-band flanges. And then from there we use food grade stainless 304, all back purge TIG welded, as you can see there. And then we added for Abe, and then for probably a few other customers down the road, this electric cutout. There's no hoses or anything like that to deal with like you would on the vacuum actuated valves. It's full electronic. It comes with the rest of the accessories that you need to get it all wired in, which is essentially just a positive and a negative wire, and then everything is run off this key fob. Press a button, full open, shoot flames. It's been a fun project, pretty easy to do. Now I guess got to pump these things out.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of pissed off neighbors and some yeet sauce.
You will, yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Rise Fab sticker and put it up on my garage.
Okay. We'll start with the small one.
So originally, this is the original pipe that came off my X3. It's got the catalytic converter in it. For people that don't know, with the catalytic converter, riding out on trails, a lot of people do dunes, you know, to do some hard running. The turbos on these things generate a lot of heat. So there's a lot of buildup between here and here as far as the heat and stuff, and could potentially cause fires. A lot of people are out of service, don't have fire extinguishers, or maybe have a fire extinguisher that can't adequately take care of what's going on. So this is actually, one, getting rid of the catalytic converter is a safety thing. 2, it's also opening up the airflow from the turbo a little bit, getting rid of some of the back pressure. Less back pressure from the turbo equals better performance. Also, with the 3-inch pipe coming out, this leaves the ability for, if I want to run more boost, I can push out more exhaust pressure. And of course, with this was just custom request and can be reproduced for other customers if they need to. But this basically just lets me have it straight pipe if I want to run all out, and there's no noise ordinance or anything. Most trails have noise ordinance, so we've got it set up. If you want to come up here and look at this, we've still got it set up to go back against the factory muffler. So you can use this with your factory muffler. It's just this pipe right here itself that is modified, so you could still stay within the decibel limits of trail riding for people who like to go to TWRA parks and such. Alright, so what do we got here? This is the
You got your control box. This is how easy this is going to be to essentially set up. Then you have your harness that goes to the cutout itself. It's right in there. Into this. Screws into here. Figure it out. There we go. Gotta try not to cross thread it. There you go. And you got your positive and negative.
boom.
There it is. And key fob. That's it. Open, closed.
It's like James Bond style.
Yeah.
Does it come with 2 of them?
It does. That way, whenever you do lose one, you got another one.
Ah, well that's nifty.
Yeah. All right, so I gotta put a battery in this, and then we'll test it out.
Yeah. Okay. So some more details about the electronic cutout. It's actually a pretty simple design. There's an insulator right here, and then there's 2 bolts that hold this on, and then which 3 bolts set bolt back onto here. So a total of 5 bolts, and then it comes on and off. The clips, very easy, will be a convenient place to get to. I think the coolest part that I like is that it comes with an insulator, so the heat's not transferring up into this and into this. So we're actually going to test the durability of it. Obviously, if it can survive me, then it can survive about anybody. But the way it'll work, let's see. The thing's locked pretty tight. Kind of like it, means it won't blow open. But we're gonna hook it up and then we're gonna test it with the key fob.
You wanna do the honors? Should see. Yep. All right.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna hook it up.
Go for it.
Whap! All the turbo yeet boy noises, and then back off. See where it works. It's on and off. You can see that. On and then off. It's easy like that, just with a key fob. Alright, so another cool feature that Chris just showed me is, you want to explain it to him?
Yeah, simply just there's a delete plug right here for the single kits. For the dual kits, you get an added extra wiring harness. That way you can do V6, V8, or just a dual cutout.
So,
plug it like that.
Not just for side-by-sides, this could also be automotive related. What he was saying is basically you have the ability in this harness and this setup, you could get a second one of these if you wanted to run duals. So I think that's pretty cool. That's nifty. Yep. I like that. Might need one for my car.
You can also program the key fobs to do like a partial open as well.
Oh. Well, we're going to have to do some reading and figure all these things out. Ding! Alright, so we're going to do a video of the install to show you how relatively easy it is to put all this stuff together. Admiring the shininess.
So essentially, once you take your you got to take your OEM heat shield off.
Yes.
From here you need to loosen this up. Once you loosen that up and you get it's pretty self-explanatory. Once you get the old pipe off, the only thing that a customer would need to do, since this is now true 3-inch, is trim this bracket here. You can trim it, clean it up. You can probably remove it even, but for this particular installation, since a lot of other stuff connects to this particular bracket with the hoses and the wire harness, it's just a whole lot easier just to trim it. It doesn't look too unsightly. And then from there, without trying to scratch everything up, there we go. Like that. Hardest part about any of this is going to be the V-band. It's probably going to fight you a little bit.
Also on install, there is a small little ring, like a gasket type on the end that comes off of your old exhaust. If you have that, don't forget to put that in there, because it kind of fills the gap so you don't have any exhaust leaks.
The part where you speed this up times 50.
Times 50. Could you not use the ratchet?
I can't get the I can't get it in there.
Oh.
I don't think. I might be able to get it in there. It'd make my life easier, huh? Stay.
Okay, so we stopped to think about it. I want to replace the heat shield, because you still want heat protection even though the catalytic converter's gone, because there's a lot of plastic, you got the fuel lines and stuff in here. I don't want to take the risk of something catching on fire.
So on the electric cutout version, you definitely want to put the heat shield in first, because this gets in the way and it makes it really difficult. stuff. Let's go ahead and put the brackets on. So the brackets are. Brackets right in. So.
Now, this being the first time we've done anything like this, it's kind of like a little trial and error process, fine tuning. If there's any bugs or anything, we go ahead and figure stuff out now. And then for you guys that are interested, you know, and you go to do the install, you can see exactly what we did and make the process a little bit faster for everybody. Right now I'm just going to test out and basically see how durable this is and see if I find any problems with it, and then all the nuts and bolts and stuff that he's installing right now with the heat shield, we're not currently putting any Loctite on them, but I will go back through and Loctite them and check the tightness and everything. That way nothing vibrates loose. I wonder how hard it is getting to the springs with that on.
It's not very. Same difficulty as without it early.
Alright, now we're going to see how hard it is to install this with the heat shield and everything in place. Just in case we can verify if there is any trimming or anything that needs to be done of the heat shields or any brackets and stuff. Come over here.
Let's scratch it up.
You can leave it up to me to always make things more difficult than they should be. But at least it's a challenge, right?
Dang way. Let's get out of the way.
Sorry if everything gets really shaky.
Here we go. I gotta smell.
Now the fine tuning with the wrench.
Yeah. Anticipation builds.
Did you notice what I was saying about it just like instantly dropped 10 degrees?
Yeah, it did. Sun was out and it was nice, birds chirping, and now it's just desolate. Death. Cold.
Hell, if it snows tonight, I'm going to Windrock.
Sounds better than what I'll be doing. No.
Put my long johnies on and get some snacks.
Snacks.
We was up riding around one night. It was like real late, and there was a, I think it was an elk up there. It looked like a damn giraffe just come out of nowhere, dude. And it was huge. We're blistering through these trails at like 1 a.m. and next thing you know, I see that, and I'm like, whoa! Everybody else thought I was on drugs or something because they didn't see it, but I was like, check that out.
Did you see Bigfoot too?
I am Bigfoot. What are you talking about?
Okay. Whew. 100 turns of the wrench later. Here's where we're at.
Alright, now we can put the brackets and stuff back
Yeah, I
on.
think so. Let's go ahead and put this one on, since this is already here.
My bad.
Oh no.
Trying not to be in the way, but trying to see what's going on at the same time.
Stupid washer. Great.
This is all the OE hardware that came back off of the normal brackets and go back on.
Make sure we got everything in here. All the bolts are the same.
That's nifty. I hate it when you're working on something and it's like,
15 different sizes.
yeah, I hate that. I was working on a truck the other day and it was just needed 2 different tools just to take the steering column apart. And I was like, well, that's kind of stupid.
Alright, well, we got everything loose.
The fun part. Now, it's a trick about these springs. The springs you can get off, but just make sure you got something that ain't gonna slip and you bust your knuckles. Because the springy boys are springy.
I use these hose pliers. It seems to do the trick pretty well.
Yeah. Well, there's 4 springs. There's 2 on this side, 2 on the other side.
We'll make an actual tool for this too. Even the factory stuff just barely fits these for these springs. It's around it now.
Now remember, before fully bolting your heat shield on, if you want to remove these springs or put them back on, make your life a little bit easier before you tighten everything down with the heat shields and stuff. We did test fit this earlier, and to make sure without all the heat shields and everything, to make sure the clearances and stuff was good, and worked out pretty good. Now I'm sure later on that, like, if somebody wanted to get a full exhaust system made, not just this, that you could do something a little bit different that didn't have springs, maybe a
V-band.
A V-band clamp.
Yep. Yeah, on the systems that I plan to make in the future, if you buy a full system, it comes with a V-band. It'll come with a V-band clamp to make it a full true 3-inch system.
Full true 3-inch. Which may be a possibility another video that we do in the coming future. Might do the rest of the exhaust, not just this.
Yeah, because I gotta have a guinea pig.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's installed on there. Do the rest of the heat shield.
All right, so we got all 4 springs on it, as you can see. No problems. It's sealed good. Get it to focus a little better there.
Nothing a few ugga-luggas can't fix, right?
The duggas. And then you got another one up top. The cool part is these things are relatively easy to work on. Things are accessible. You may have to take a few pieces apart, but it's not like you're gonna beat yourself to death to get all this stuff apart. Alright, so I'll go over and show you guys the way the pipe comes out of here is very tight clearance, but as you can see there is a gap between here and here, so there won't be no rubbing. One thing we did notice, this is the OE heat shield. We did not modify it at all, but just in case there is any type of rattling or such, this is pretty close. May touch, depends on the vibrations. So if you wanted to modify this at all, you could cut just a small section out, or you could just bend this down.
Just bend it down.
Yeah, it's no big deal, but fits like a glove. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see if we can test it out here.
Alright, so before we permanently install it, we're going to do a test to make sure,
you guys.
just to show you guys how easy it is to work. Basically just plugging the harness in.
Come on, man. There it goes. Hold my breath right.
It's a good sealed tight fit, so you won't get any water and mud and stuff up in there and potentially short something out. Again, this is the second connection that you'll make.
This will go somewhere up in the cab.
That you can mount anywhere you want in the cab to be protected. I do.
You can go start it. We'll listen to it. Can you listen to it open?
All right, so this is a cold start. This has not been running. So we're gonna fire it up.
Does like a little bit, you can feel a little bit of pressure, but it's bad. It's like a slight breeze on it. Yeah. That's insane.
Alright, so what I'm going to do now, since it's warmed up a little bit, I'm going to get in and rev it from a standstill with it closed, and then I'm going to open it and rev it, and we're going to see the difference. Alright, so now we have it installed. We got the harness ran through here, and then behind this plate to kind of keep it protected. And then we ran it back up. Didn't make any modifications, just kind of poked it through where there was already some holes. Now, as a temporary place to put it, we're maybe going to put it somewhere, probably right here, be kind of easily accessible. Here's the point of where we ran it through, and then the connector. Went ahead and just wrapped the connector with electrical tape just to make it more weatherproof, or more insurance against it not being weatherproof or something getting in there. So we got it all hooked up. We got the machine running right now. Yeet. Alright, now we're going to take it for a spin, see what it sounds like inside the cab. Closed right now. We're going to do a pull with it closed and then a pull with it open. Now it's open. So all in all, I like it.
Put a lot of spaghetti in this thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Starting to get its beauty colors too. I like it.
Yeah, it should golden up nice.
So that's a pretty easy install.
Mm-hmm.
And everything.
Yep.
Cool.
Cut one bracket, take some stuff you don't need out.
Yeah.
Bam. Woo!
Good job.
Thank you.
Love it.
Cool.
Do that again. There
That's
we go.
solid.
Yeah.
You're supposed to like look at elbows where you do it.
Yeah.
And you never miss when you do it. See?
Yeah. I showed somebody that at work the other day. Anyways, if you guys have made it to the end of this video and you are interested in this or an exhaust, not just your Can-Am, maybe Polaris Razor stuff.
Or car. I do custom automotive work.
He does a lot of fabrication. In the description, the first two links that I'm going to put is link to his Facebook page, Rise Fab Shop, and Rise Fab Shop on Instagram. You can get in contact with him on either or. Race car stuff, daily stuff, exhaust work, side by sides. Just a man, shoot him a message.
Razors are next.
Razors are next. Anybody local to the Knoxville area got a Razor Turbo?
Come on down. Bam.
Bam. Until then, hope you guys enjoy. Peace.